limiting it to our domestic settings, we say women also abuse their husbands verbally. Looking at strength-wise, at times it's very difficult for a woman to beat the husband, though they abuse them. They abuse them physically. But verbal abuse is much associated to women. Yes. So we are here today to educate both genders that all this going on in our immediate environment is being concerned, that we have to educate people on. When it comes to this situation, you don't have to keep it to yourselves. You have to move to the appropriate quarters to report this violence, for us to also deal with it to curb this kind of problem in our societies. Some end up being harmed. Some get emotionally abused. Others, psychologically, they are being abused. And we have to come together and fight all this. So that's why we are embarking on this program, gender-based violence, to know the way forward to curb all these problems in our society.
Okay. I'll direct this question to the lady.
Okay.
You're seated, well protected, left and right. So I direct this question to you. According to a Ghana Statistical Survey of 2022, it says that 51% of women that face violence did not report this. And my question is, can you say that a good number of Ghanaians are aware of DOVSU and what it does and how they can reach out to DOVSU?
Thank you very much for the question, and thank you all my listeners. Yes, gone are those days that they didn't know much about what DOVSU is doing. Now, because of education that we've been going out and be educating the people, now they are aware of DOVSU and they know what DOVSU is doing. So I may say that now the reports, they have been coming more than the previous days.
BK, I think I'll take this question back to him. While you were speaking, you touched on verbal abuse. Now, we live in a society where it's common actually to see a lady verbally abusing a man. At what point should it get to before this man reach out to the DOVSU? Is it, at what point does it get to that? It's okay, now I am being verbally abused and I can no longer take it. Because this thing is it's kind of like very common on day-to-day basis. We see it, we hear it. So at what point do you think DOVSU can step in? A woman verbally abusing the husband.
So I might say that there is no point. The slightest degree you have to come. Immediately the woman starts abusing you verbally, you have to run to DOVSU so that it will not be escalated.
The gentleman there is nodding his head. This is quite interesting. The reason why I'm picking on this is we don't seem to pay so much attention to verbal abuse, especially the men. They're like, oh, she just said my head is big, she's this, she's that, those kind of petty insults. Does this come into play here?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Would you give me an example, please?
Let's say you are in a relationship with a man, and we all have flaws. You understand? So, let's say I have deformity in maybe my hand or my leg. And the slightest thing, this man will make reference to that. It's very demeaning, and it can happen to a couple, and that thing will lead to an assault or causing harm, because if I can't take it anymore, I might decide to maybe take something to hit you out of pain or out of anger. Do you understand? So that's why we are saying the slightest insult you can report to the police. Wow. So that we address it. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so for the men who are listening, please don't take it as a normal thing. Because it's always been the case of the women complaining. Yes. It's about the women. Yes. It's about the women. When you talk about gender-based violence, the first thing that comes to mind is it's a man abusing the woman.
Yes.
Has there been cases, or are Ghanaian men coming forward to report cases of abuse?
Yes, now we do have it. We've been receiving complaints, series of complaints of the women abusing the men.
Please make this more interesting by giving us some examples.
Yeah, I quite remember there was a case. There was this woman that a man was married to, and the man has been providing money in the house, has been doing everything. But when he close from work, we get to the house, there's no food. And when he complains to the woman who assaulted, the man takes alcohol a bit. So sometimes he comes home drunk. There was this day, the woman assaulted the man with a belt, waist belt, and he sustained some bruises and stuff. So he came and reported the matter. We went and arrested the woman. We spoke to her, and I think things worked. Yeah.
It worked. You were able to resolve
We were able
it.
to resolve.
Okay. So let's continue.
Okay.
We have so many regions. We are in the eastern region. Is there a case where there are regions that are topping the list in terms of abuse?
Well, we cannot speak for national. You know, we are within a jurisdiction. We are in the eastern region, so we can talk of the region,
Okay, fine.
but we
Let's
can't talk
focus
for
on
that.
that.
So when we are focusing in the region, we do have some cases, peculiar cases that are coming from certain places, especially when it comes to sexual offenses. From Begro, Asesewa vicinity, they are always topping the list. When it
Especially
comes to
within the Provo land.
assault to Kufurudia here, we do assault people a lot. Physical assault, verbal assault, offensive conduct. We have been topping the list. So
What are some of the contributing factors to this?
yes, like I said, the slightest insult, verbal abuse, that is where it normally starts from. I'm having an engagement with you, then you start insulting me. Maybe I can't contain the insult. So instead of the man reporting the matter, he decides to keep that thing to himself. And he can no longer take it again, then it means he has to resort to assault. That is where it normally comes from. So the women normally cause the fight by verbally abusing the men. And then they also retaliate by physically abusing them, because he cannot be insulting the woman back. So he would just decide to go and assault the woman.
You just said the women
Yeah.
caused the fight.
Yes.
How about the
Normally.
men? Has there ever been cases where the man is the one
Yes,
starting
if-
the case of abuse?
If the man is the one starting, normally he physically assault the person. Men normally don't verbally abuse the women,
we beat you.
but they beat them.
We beat you.
They will touch you.
We beat you.
Yes. So that is one thing about the men. If there is an assault case against a man, the probability that the man first slap the woman will be high. But sometimes the women will insult the men before the slap will follow. Do you understand?
Yes.
So
My sister, do you agree?
That one is normal.
Do you agree with what he's
Yes,
saying? That
I
the
agree.
women always, they are the ones inducing the abuse.
Yes, I do agree. Yes, we are not saying the men don't start, but we realize that the women starting of the abuse is higher than that of the men, because the slightly degree or the slightest thing, then the woman will start insult the man. And a man will not stand there for you to insult them. You know the ego that they have. They are the king.
We beat you.
So standing there for you to insult them, then they have to retaliate with their hand. They will beat you. Then when you talk of the sexual abuses, as he mentioned from Begro, we also realize that sometimes it's curiosity. The youth, they want to know what sex is. So that curiosity lead them to these sexual abuses whereby they can defile children. And then we also
Basically,
realize
also
that
need to
sometimes
update
lack of parental care, because the parents don't give the due care to the children. So it will also let them have a company, friends, bad friends, that can also lead to these sexual abuses.
Okay. So I'm going to ask, there's a question here. It says, how does DOVSU work to prevent domestic violence through community education and awareness raising?
Yes, just like we are doing. We normally embark on these community sensitization programs, just like we are doing. So from time to time, when the opportunity comes, we meet some group sessions, then we talk to them about domestic violence. You know, we cannot fight domestic violence alone, but we need the help of your media and a lot of stakeholders. You know, it's not a one-man thing. So we are trying our best. We've been going on this sensitization programs to raise
Thanks
awareness.
to other organizations doing by DOVSU.
Has there been an awareness plan dedicated solely to the women to address this?
Yes. Sometimes as we do the education, we go to churches, we meet the women group, like the women's fellowship. We meet only the women, then we talk to them so that they also know what will let this abuse or what will generate this abuse. So we talk to them.
What about sexual abuse? We've talked about verbal abuse and all that. Is there a rise in sexual abuse in our region here?
Yes.
Okay, with the sexual abuse, as we first mentioned, we have different forms of sexual abuse. We have the rape, defilement, indecent assault, incest, and then sexual harassment. There are many. And you know, with rape, I can say we are not receiving much of the rape cases, but mostly they receive the defilement cases. And then indecent assault, there is a
growing menace, another one.
This indecent assault. Normally, when you mention indecent assault, people think it's abusing someone, but it's also a sexual abuse.
So I would say break it down for us. Let's focus on rape, indecent assault and defilement. These three, let's try to break it down so we know what is what and to educate the public.
Okay, with the rape, you know, with our definition to rape, they say rape is having carnal knowledge to a female who is 16 years and above without that female's consent. So here consent counts, then female counts, and then the age counts. So forcing a lady or a woman, a girl, to have sexual intercourse, that's the carnal knowledge. The sexual intercourse is the carnal knowledge with that particular lady without her consent, forcing the person. So if the person is from 16 years and above and you forcibly have sexual intercourse with that person, and that's what you consider as rape.
Okay. And then the indecent assault.
So with the indecent assault, my brother will talk of it, and then I will also talk about the defilement.
Okay, so with the indecent assault, normally we get some male who perpetrate this act against the women, because in our family setup we normally stay together with the family, other relatives. So let's say a cousin of mine, and after bathing, definitely I will come inside to come and dress. Maybe he will be around. He will start touching my buttocks, touching my breast. I'll be complaining, I don't like this. But he thinks because we are living in the room together, he has that freedom to do whatever he wants. But it's also an offense. And the male too, normally we see some juveniles, that's female juveniles, and we say, oh, then they will start abusing those girls. Come and sit on me, then they will be touching their private parts and those stuff. They are all indecent as well. So
okay, over to you.
Okay. So when you talk of defilement, it is having carnal knowledge with a person below the age of 16 years. So the carnal knowledge, as my brother said, is the sexual intercourse. So with a person, meaning you can defile a boy below the age of 16 years. That's unnatural carnal knowledge through the annals. And then, so when the person is below the age of 16 years and you have sexual intercourse with the person, whether the person gave you the consent or not, it is an offense. So with this defilement, the consent we don't count the consent, whether the consent was given or not. When you sleep with someone below that age, then it means you have defiled that person. So that is the indecent defilement. So it's different from the rape. With the rape, the person should give you the consent. But with the defilement, whether the consent was given or not during the act, you have committed an offense, which is defilement.
Okay.
And
So
the age is a different.
And
Oh,
the
yeah.
age to 16, below the age of 16.
okay. So you talked about
Yeah,
men
listen.
raping women. Men raping
Yes,
women.
yeah.
Has there been instances where women are raping men?
Sure.
No, no.
They do.
You know, the law says
They do.
Yes.
that the slightest penetration, and as we all know, penetration is mainly done by the male.
So how about those who say that she raped me?
No,
You have men say that
it's
a woman
seduction.
raped.
If they can seduce a man,
Or sexual harassment.
but for penetration, it's done by we the men. So the slightest penetration,
The
that
person
is what.
put by something they put it
So
inside.
you may seduce me, lead me to the act, but that won't be rape. That won't amount to rape. You understand?
Okay, so if for the purpose of education, yeah,
Okay.
if a man walks into DOVSU office and says a lady raped me, how would you handle that?
Yes, it will end up being treated as a misdemeanor. That will be a seduction case because the female will only lead you, but you will do the penetration. And if I hate something, you cannot force me and hold my penis to insert into your vagina. I will definitely resist it. Do you understand?
So are you trying to say that
Yes.
men who come forward and say that
Yes.
a woman raped me, she raped him, are you saying that technically it is wrong?
Yes, it's wrong.
Technically it is wrong.
Yes.
So what will happen to that man when he comes and says that he's been raped?
Oh yes.
What would you do with him?
We will attend to him. We will invite the lady. You find out what exactly happened. But once the penetration was done by the man, there is no rape.
So once the penetration was done
Yes.
by the man, would you say this is consensual?
No, it's not consensual. But you see, the male organ is designed in such a way that if I have a feeling towards you, that is when I'll get erection. So if I don't have the feeling for you, I shouldn't get erection. So once I get erection and penetrate, it doesn't amount to rape again. Do you understand?
So we are saying, if you have, okay, for those who are listening to us, you're on KTU Radio 87.7 FM. This is Morning Rush with Dali Wonders. And we're having a discussion this morning. My guests this morning are from the department, okay, let me get that right. Domestic Violence and Victim Support Unit. I have in the studios this morning Detective Chief Inspector Monica Opoku Ajiman. She's in the company of Detective Corporal Mark Justice Kwabi and Detective Constable Dixon Osafo, and the focus is kicking gender-based violence out of our community. And we just heard the voice. We're talking about technically, please, it's been corrected. Technically, a woman cannot rape a man based on the obvious facts. If you agree with us, let us know. If you don't agree, let us know. The handles are 877KT. We're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and X. So far, so good. There are victims in all of this. Have there been issues with the victims? Like, what are the challenges that it faced mostly?
Yes, we do receive complaints. And one thing about us, when a case of defilement is reported, definitely we'll give you medical form to go to hospital for examination. You see, this is where the problem starts. We are not supposed to, examine the victim. It's the hospital that is supposed to do, but they pay for the services. And it costs a lot, so sometimes it scares the complainants, so they don't come forward to report the issue. There's been an instance that our station officer here had to go and work it out at the central hospital before we were able to even examine a victim in a case. And it was a serious case that I think it was 3 years or 5 years, 7 years old. Yes. She was defiled, and the station officer had to go and work it out there. It's not easy. So this main factor has been scaring most of the complainants to not come back for their case to be done for them. So,
And so they just go away
Yeah,
with
go
it
away.
and try
It's
to deal
just-
with it on their own.
Yes,
Is that it?
yes.
Okay, so someone is asking. It says, so are you saying that if a woman abuses me, DOVSU cannot help? It's coming from a man.
no, I never said.
Abusing.
In
Which
terms
means-
of rape, like
In
she
term-
falls. Yeah, the question is in terms of rape.
That is what I was saying. You know, that case will not be treated as a rape case.
And there will be an offense for
Do you
it.
understand? There is an offense for it. It's a misdemeanor. It's
Sexual harassment.
sexual harassment. Do you understand? But it's not rape. Women cannot rape men, but men can rape
And
women.
per our laws, per the
So let-
of Criminal Offences Act,
That's
Act
the
29,
act
Act
they
60. It defines rape as the carnal knowledge of a female not less than 16 years without her consent. So the key point here is female,
Female.
consent,
age.
and then the age. So per our laws, women,
Male cannot be
male
raped.
can never be raped.
The men.
Only females are raped.
Okay. All right, it's making sense. Per the laws, please, men cannot be raped by women. It's women who are raped by men.
Yeah.
Okay. I hope we do get that one
Yeah,
clear.
for
A
that
man
one.
cannot be raped. If you've been following the conversation, by now you must have understood
Can I
why
agree
it
on
is
that?
said that you must have understood why it said that women cannot rape a man. It's a man that rapes a woman. Okay, your final words on the sensitization. Any special activities lined up? Before we take the final words, actually, you've been doing this sensitization for quite some time. Would you say that it's been impactful? Have you seen results?
Oh yes. Oh yes. We have seen results because now the cases that they come to the unit to report has been reduced. Yes, and we've seen results.
So, what is the process for someone for a victim who would want to make a complaint at DOVSU?
So the victim should come to DOVSU, come and make the complaint. It depends on the type of complaint the victim is coming to make. Some complaint we give the medical form, that's the sexual offenses, and then the assault we give the medical form. But the emotional abuse or the
Offensive
verbal
conduct.
abuse of offensive conduct, we don't give medical form for it. So it depends on the case the person comes to lodge.
And
Okay.
As you were asking of challenges that we are facing, my brother here talked about the medical aspect. You know, at times too, when they come forward to make complaint and they are given the medical form, they don't go to hospital. Rather, they go home to sit down with the suspect's family to resolve the issue at home. Defilement case. At times, victims being 12 years, 13 years, and that person has been defiled, sexually abused. The family will go and sit down, talk about money issues. They will just charge the suspect's family, and then they will pay money to them, and then the complainant will not come back to police station again.
So DOVSU have been going out to arrest those people who do that. So if a case like sexual offenses, you go home and settle it, come to the police station, get the medical form. Sometimes they use the medical form because
As
if
a
it,
source of-
yes, if you tell me that I've gotten the medical form, if you don't pay this amount, then we are proceeding the case to court. Then you go and collect your amount. We are arresting those people. So whoever comes to DOVSU, we issue the medical form, and you fail to come, we take your address, we take everything when we are making the complaint. We follow up and then arrest those people.
The next question here is from a listener. It says, so if my husband the question is, can my husband rape me? Can a husband rape a wife? The rape issue is getting interesting.
Oh yeah, yes. Is the husband not a male? The husband is a male, right?
Your husband is a male, yes.
And the wife is a female.
Yes.
So definitely the husband can rape the wife.
In this context of husband
Yes.
and wife court,
Yes.
there's supposed to be some kind of relationship.
Yes.
So that's what the person is asking.
Yes,
Can
but-
a husband rape a wife? Not the man raping a woman,
Yes.
that is husband and wife.
As my brother quoted the clause, it was clear that there must be consent. You are my husband, fine, I'm your wife. But it doesn't mean that whenever you think you should go, it should happen. Yes, we must both be prepared.
I've paid for it.
The key word here was consent. and I'm not giving you the consent. You are forcing me, and some end up. No, it's not funny. You know, some use this married thing to abuse their partners. If you are married, fine, but there must be consent, because this thing, if I don't show consent, there you won't enjoy it. So you force me, you force your way out, I get injured. Is it not a rape? It's a rape. So you can be married but still rape your partner.
Okay, so let's say consent. The key word here is consent.
Consent, yeah.
Be it a married husband and wife relationship or boyfriend, girlfriend, adult relationship,
adult
of course.
relationship.
Not we don't look at underage here. Adult relationship. The key word is consent.
Consent.
He must agree. She must agree.
I want to come in
Yeah,
here.
please go ahead.
You see, some of our ladies, sometimes you demand something from your husband, and you know at that moment your husband is not having. So if he asks you to wait, that later when he gets, he'll give you. Then because of that, they stand on that, zip their trouser,
Yeah.
wear about 10 trousers, zip them, that they will not allow the husband to have
Sexual
sexual
offense.
intercourse with
Emotional
them. You
abuse.
understand? So
Okay, you said it's that's emotional.
Yeah,
That's
because you are
emotional
putting
abuse.
the man into
Yeah.
emotions.
Okay, so on this grounds, can the man make a complaint?
Yes.
Yes, the man can make a complaint. So I just want to say that sometimes
After how many? Sorry, I'm not trying to cut you short, but
Okay.
after how many instances? After how many cases? Just one time she refuses him to have
No, you can't
sex with
stab
her.
your wife, your husband more than a month or two. You are sleeping in the same room and you have refused to allow your man to have sex with you. It's an emotional abuse. You can be.
You might want to repeat that
Yes.
again.
You can't be living with your husband or wife in the same room and for a month or two you've stabbed the person. You know, if you stab me sexually, it's a form of abuse. It's an emotional abuse. So that person can come and report the case to us.
Okay.
So I had wanted to end that when you do that to your husband, remember you are driving him away. You see, you do that to your husband, you are driving him away. So sometimes when they come to report these cases, at times we look at the instances, because if I need something and you don't give me, doesn't mean I should avoid you from having sexual intercourse with me. No. But some of the women, they use that as advantage and then deprive the man or avoid them for having sexual intercourse with them. And you know he's a man, he's a human being. And there is something we say it in account that body no be firewood. You see, he's a human being. So sometimes we don't have to let the man also force and have sex with us. It's your man.
Okay.
So allow him.
We'll take just this last question. This listener is asking. He says, Dolly, if I deny my husband sex after an argument just once, can he sue me can he report a case against me?
No, for just once.
Just
And then she refuses to give him sex, and then can he go ahead and make a report?
just once.
No.
So how many times must this happen before someone can actually make a complaint? We need to get this clear.
So it should be continuous. Maybe 2 weeks, 1 month, continuous like that. You understand?
If you say 2 weeks, 1 month continuous like that, there are people who will say they have sex like every day for 2 weeks. Some will say, okay, we have it just once every month. So if we're saying 2 weeks, 1 month thereabouts, I think we should be a bit more specific.
So depending on your situation.
So if a complainant comes in and says, this person is saying, okay, no, the husband comes in and says, my wife has refused me having anything to do with her. What are some of the questions that you would ask?
You see, we do counsel couples a lot. Maybe she only needs advice. So you can come. I had an issue with my partner. She or he has refused to have sex with me. Sometimes it's even the men that starve the women. Do you understand? Because he knows that the woman cannot go out. But for him, you know, men, we can pass behind and do our own thing.
Okay.
So if something happens, oh yes, that is it. So the man will be starving the woman, and you know, women, it's difficult for us to ask for this stuff. For your wife to come and beg you for sex, it feels some way, but for men, we do. So yeah, it's true. It's true.
You have to beg before
You have to beg before. Sometimes they will deny you. You have to go on your knees and beg before you
Oh really?
Yeah, it has happened. So we don't have specific period depending on how the thing happened. You know, there was an argument, we had a fight. Okay, I've decided to stay away from you, but we are living under the same roof, and you know the weather is cold these days. I wanted to do something now. You are starving me. If it becomes continuous, then you have to report to DOVSU. You invite your partner, you sit both of you down, you talk, you trash things out, then you go back.
That's when, if you don't take care, it will end up
Yes, the divorce.
no rape.
Rape. Yes, yeah,
You may force
the
your
marital
That's when
rape.
the man
Yeah.
You may
rapes the
force,
woman.
you may
Yeah.
force your wife.
It can also lead to assault.
Yeah, assault. So
Okay, so we take your final words on this, and then we call it a day for today, because this topic is really going to stretch the issue of the rape, and so we take your final words on this.
there is another menace I want to touch on this more.
Yeah, sure, please.
There
go
is
ahead.
this growing trend of obscenity.
Yeah.
You see, couple will enter bedroom doing their own thing, then they will set camera on top, and they will be recording the session. So if something happens, other party will use that video to blackmail, or sometimes their phones even get lost, and people access the videos on the phones when they get in touch with that phone. So there is another trend that is going on, the obscenity. We've been receiving cases, sometimes students, sometimes this tricycle riders, they will publish the thing on Telegram, other social media, and they will be using it to extort money and stuff from their partners. So we are only advising the youth out there to desist from that. That one is mainly done by the youth. Elderly people normally don't do that. Though there's been a case, an elderly woman has been involved before, but then youth are the main perpetrators of that act.
So on this one, can DOVSU come in, or you have maybe a boyfriend or a girlfriend trying to blackmail the other over a video that they both agreed to film?
We have,
Can
yes, we
DOVSU
have been
come in?
arresting people day in, day out. Seriously. We have been receiving numerous cases at our end.
Okay.
Yes, and that's what we are trying to educate, because it's becoming too much.
Okay, so
Sometimes to the consent to be there, the woman will be aware that the man is
The man is recording.
recording her. So, so when there's a little issue, then the man will use it to blackmail
And
her.
I don't understand why, when you are having this sexual intercourse, you have to record it.
Yeah.
So last time I asked someone the reason for doing that, and then he told me that after the act they will sit down and look at it and know the performance. You see? So this one, so please, it's advice to the youth.
Yeah.
When you're having sexual intercourse, never record it.
Or your partner will be away.
Because both of you will show the consent. But when one wants to quit from the relationship,
That is
then the
where-
other person will use the video, send it to you, send it to others to blackmail you. So that is the publishing, when you send it out to others.
let's play safe in all that we're doing out there. Please, the key word is consent. Don't go raping anybody, and don't go doing things that you are not supposed to do. And please, we've been educated today. Women don't rape men, it's men that rape women. So whatever you're doing, please let there be consent, mutual understanding, mutual agreement. And let's take your final words, and then we'll wrap this up.
So my final word is that any victim of domestic violence should count on DOVSU. Don't wait to be hurt or killed. We value you, so come and report your case to DOVSU.
Please, DOVSU is here to help you. Whatever it is that you're going through, emotional, mental, physical, whatever it is, any form of abuse, please go make a report, and then keep safe out there. On this note, I want to say thank you so much for coming into our studios this morning. We value your time, and hopefully we're having more conversations on this. If more questions come up, I'll be glad to send them to you, and then we'll bring you back into the studio to talk about it. Thank you so much for coming to our studios, and do have a great day. And we continue with Morning Rush right here on KTU Radio 87.7 FM. My name is Dolly Wonders. A few minutes from now, I'll be signing out. My guest this morning has been Detective Chief Inspector Monica Opoku Ajiman, Detective Corporal Mark Justice Kwabi, and Detective Constable Dixon Osafo from the Domestic Violence and Victim Support Unit.